up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Gray Media. This is Josh here, checking in on you out there in YouTube land. YouTube, how are you doing? Happy Tuesday. I'd love to just caress you, but tonight we're talking true crime. You want to talk about serial killers? You want to talk about serial killers like right now? Let's talk about this film I just got in from themovieroom.com. 2004's Evilenko. It looks really cool with that title right there. It looks like it says Evilenko. This is a true story about the serial killer Andrei Chikatilo, a Soviet serial killer that really ran amok in the mid-80s to about 1990 before he went on trial and was executed like immediately. Kind of a crazy true crime story about this nasty serial killer that I believe killed 52 women and children in a really short span of time, just a couple of years. Eluded police, right, was kind of able to hypnotize these women and children with his mind, which you see in this film, and then just all of a sudden was caught and killed, murdered immediately. He was a Soviet, he was a communist, right? He was live, die, kill for his country. And Evilenko was a nasty dude. We got to talk about this release from 2004, the brand new Unearthed films that I got in, and let's talk about it. Let's get into it really quick. This is starring Malcolm McDowell. Now, I am a huge Malcolm McDowell fan, have been ever since the Clockwork Orange film. I've seen a bunch of movies where he just completely commands the screen. He is an intense dude. He is just... A lot of people don't like his turn as Samuel Loomis. I actually do. I like Halloween 2, believe it or not. And I seen them both in the theater. Anyway, we're not talking about Halloween. But his portrayal as Samuel Loomis, he was trying to be a dick. I thought he did a great job. So his turn here as Evilenko, he is this basic, Soviet school teacher, right? And in the beginning of this film, we learn that he is a little bit of he's a bad guy, okay? He's got some petty problems, and the very first scene in this film, it takes about 10 minutes. It is very, very, very uncomfortable, but it is not graphic. It is shocking, it is disturbing, but it's not gory. Okay, it basically just kind of talks about his downfall, the kind of people that he was attracted to, how he stalked these people, how we kind of use this mind control on them, and then it kind of follows him and this cop as he kind of searches for them. It's really kind of the tale of two stories, but if you're looking for a film if this sounds interesting to you, basically it's a true life story, and it's got Malcolm McDowell playing this serial killer who was just absolutely batshit crazy. If you're looking for a film that doesn't get really, really gory and really, really into those details, this might be for you. When I think about it, I was watching it last night, then I kind of cooked on it. I thought about it all day today at work, which means it was probably more effective than I gave it credit for last night. When I seen Unearthed films at the bottom, I thought, this is going to be messed up, man. I've got August Underground. I've got like 25 Unearthed films, and they're all pretty nasty in their own way. Even Feed from that came out earlier this year, that's a pretty intense film in some spots. So I thought it was going to be more shocking than it was, but the subject matter is shocking enough, right? Most people probably don't want to see crazy gore. They don't want to know that on top of 52 women and children, mostly children, he also ate them. He ate his victims. And so knowing the backstory, I was almost expecting kind of like a documentary, or what do they call those, where they're like almost like a biopic, right? Not like a Freddie Mercury or a Michael Jordan biopic, but in Evilenko, like this mad Soviet serial killer, like a biopic. I thought that's what I was gonna get, and it's that, but it's not gory and it's not super graphic. That doesn't mean there's no violence or any messed up material. It's very subjective. It's all, what's happening, and maybe that's better in a way. I'm the problem here. I'm the messed up guy that wanted to see. I guess I wanted to see what happened. I wanted to know why he was crazy. I wanted to know the backstory. I guess I wanted to see him. I wanted to see him eat people, and they don't really show a lot of that stuff. They do show him. There's a couple of gory scenes where you definitely know that he was stalking and tracking people and using his brain to kind of get them to do what he wanted. There's some bloodshed, there's some gore, there's a couple of kills, but it's not the whole movie. This almost plays out like a cop procedural drama, right? And it's this dude trying to find this guy, and it's bizarre. It's very different. This is going to appeal to a much wider audience than probably I was thinking. I thought it was going to be just a super gory, like nasty little movie, and it's actually like, it's a smart movie. It's a little bit slow in some spots. The music's incredible. The music's really good, but it wasn't very gory. So I was like, oh, this is a different speed. This is very palpable for a lot more people than myself. This is going to be like, oh yeah, this is like what people would want to see if they were watching true crime on Netflix. They're not going to show you all the bodies and stuff. Like, I'm the weirdo that wants that. So if you think about it in that frame, this is actually like inside the mind. It's a character study, really. It's a hit piece. It's a character study on Malcolm McDowell. He does an amazing job. He acts his fucking ass off in this film. He does such a good job. And in a way, I was like listening to I watched a little bit of the featurette, and then I was listening to some of the interviews where he's talking about how he did not want to actually learn too much about the actual serial killer because he didn't want it to affect his process or whatever, right? Or even change his thinking. Like, maybe you don't want all that on your conscience when you're making a film like this. So he watched some of the court stuff. He kind of learned some mannerisms, some of his movements and stuff, and then he just kind of like, he took it over. And I think Malcolm McDowell absolutely crushes this film, and it's one of the better films that he's done in a long time. And I actually think it's a pretty good movie. It's not that gory, and I guess I want it gory. So let's talk about the release from Unearthed. So this is what you get when you order it. It does come with this 4K Blu-ray with the slip. I watched the 4K all the way through. I put in the Blu-ray just to kind of see, and I think there is a pretty noticeable difference. I only watched the first scene, and I was like, all right, that's good. That first scene is pretty brutal on Blu-ray. So yeah, it comes with the slip. It's a 2-disc set. The Blu-ray has all of the special features on it. No reversible cover art. I'm telling you right now, Unearthed Films has really upped their quality as far as the way their 4Ks looked. This thing looked pretty damn pristine right out of the box. Just put it on, didn't make any adjustments, and I was like, this looks really good. Now, I think it's supposed to be taking place right like back in time, like late 70s, mid 80s. So it does have this kind of muted look to it. It's kind of flat with the color, but the color is crispy. The crispiest crisps. It's very crisp for a 4K. It while still almost having like a sepia, like a muted tone, if you know what I'm talking about. When it has that train scene, there's another scene where I'm imagining that he was doing something. Maybe he was eating someone, right? Where there is blood color. Whenever he does have a victim with him, the blood is super bloody, super red. The 4K looks damn good, but it's socialism, right? It's a cold time, so it's like everything is just, it's a frigid look for this 4K, but I thought that it looked really, really good. The sound was really great. Let me see what the sound mix was. Was it just... Yeah, I think it was a DTS. I think it was just a 5.1. Through my Dolby Atmos, it still sounded really, really good. There's a lot of dialogue in this film, so it was right up front. It was right up center. If you've got a good system, I mean, I didn't have to turn it up. It was just pretty even the entire time. Be this just crazy music, and you're like, oh, that kind of came out of nowhere. But I really did like the music in this film. I guess there's a bunch of featurettes and stuff with the composer. Tons of stuff as far as the special features. I didn't watch all of them. I just got it and checked it out. There's a dossier. There's like a little documentary about the actual guy, Chikatilo or whatever. There's a ton of interviews. There's tons of commentary tracks. I haven't got really into the weeds with that. But for a film, you know, if you're going out of 10, if you know what this film is about and you go in with your expectations, expecting like a serial killer, kind of a true crime film, almost like, you know, how did they catch him? What happened? What's the story? It's probably a good 6 out of 10, okay? If you're looking for a really graphic, gruesome, unearthed film, like your expectations are really high for the blood and gore, it's probably going to be more like a 4 or 5. I guess that's really what's kind of the creepy, the shocking, the disturbing part of it. And I can see why Unearthed put it out. After I thought about it, I was like, oh, yeah. The subject matter is really, really gross. That first scene is brutal, man. Even though they don't show a whole lot, it's definitely implied, and you just feel like you need a shower afterwards, okay? And it's gonna trigger some people, but compared to some of the other stuff I've watched from them, most people can watch this. I think that this is going to appeal to a bigger a bigger mass of people than usual because it's not super gory. It should be rated R for sure. So you get inside the kind of sick and twisted mind of these kind of people that do this kind of stuff. And so I think that's really where it becomes a little more disturbing than just your average film. So this is an Italian film. It's by David Greco. It's pretty good. If you want to check this thing out right now on themovieroom.com, follow the link in the description, go over there and then type in Evilenko or Evilenko 15, all caps, to save 15% or more. And then, yeah, follow my link on themovieroom.com, dude. They are the best. They ship super, super quick. Love working with them. And that's kind of a cool movie. It's just kind of cool. It's kind of gross, actually. It is gross. It's not super gory. So, if you want to see more from me though, like, comment, subscribe, talk some shit down there. Okay, we're going to get into a lot more stuff. I've got to get into Beyond the Darkness. I got to do some Joe D'Amato stuff. I told myself I would. I got a couple other cannibal films that I got to watch that I just can't wait to talk about. So you guys, I love you very much. Take care of yourselves. Hang in there. Cheers.